battlefield. Now, another armoured vehicle, but this time again, not a tank. Again, not a very wary looking vehicle, but again another very, very important one on the battlefield. If you can think of all those tanks going forward, crossing perhaps a churned up battlefield, lots of shell craters, those vehicles are going to need supplies, and tanks need a lot of supplies. They need huge amounts of petrol to keep them going, they need ammunition, spare parts, etc. So what you need is a load carrying vehicle that can get to them, because your normal truck may not be able to cross that boggy ground. And this is what this is. It's a tracked truck. It's there as a load carrier to get those supplies forward across the battlefield. Now this particular one, it was made by the Americans back in the 1960s. It's something called an M548, just a production number M548. And the British Army used them in the First Gulf War. We used them for bringing missiles forward to our anti-aircraft batteries. Driver sits in the front, there's a flat bed on the back, but on this particular one, what we've done, the Army kindly gave us a couple of these, we put bus seats in the back there. So if you fancy having a go in the back of one of these, bouncing around, seeing what it's like on a track vehicle, this vehicle will be running the rest of the afternoon from the far corner of our arena. The only thing to remember, health and safety again, I'm afraid, you've got to be over a metre tall to have a go in it. But it does give you a bit of an idea of what a track vehicle feels like spinning around the place. Now the driver in this vehicle, and in most track vehicles, he doesn't actually have a steering wheel. He has two levers in front of him, two sticks. If you pull back on the right-hand stick, it brakes the track, it slows the track down on the right-hand side. The other side of the track keeps going, and it pushes the tank round the corner. So if you pull the right stick, you turn right. If you pull the left stick, you turn left. If you pull both sticks back together, you should come to a dead halt. Now that sounds a very sensible way of steering. The problem with it is, if you keep pulling back on those sticks too quickly, your brakes get hotter and hotter, and then they just don't work anymore. They fail. So that's why when you see these armoured vehicles driving around our arena, they quite often, they don't go around in a nice smooth arc, in other words by pulling back on the stick all the time. They go around the corners like the edge of a 50p piece or an old threepenny bit. They go around in little straight lines, pull on the stick, change the direction, and off they go again. And that's why you see this slightly jerky movement as they go round corners. It's another thing to remember, if you're driving around the roads here at Bovington, if you see one of those big armoured vehicles, for goodness sake, please, number one, give them plenty of room, because the driver in the front, he can see diddly squat, he doesn't know you're there at all. Number two, if you decide to overtake him just as he's going to turn, the rear end can kick out and he'll throw you into the hedge, the bush, the ditch at the side of the road, and he won't even know he's done it. So please give them plenty of room if they've got those L stickers on the back, or any armoured vehicle, give them plenty of room. Now they made the M548 a very lightweight vehicle, so it could not only take the supplies forward across the battlefield, it's also amphibious, so it can cross rivers. If bridges were blown up, they still need to get those supplies forward. Just by the track turning round, they scoop enough water to go through the water of a lake, river, whatever they're trying to cross, and power the vehicle forward. Again, that's a very useful little feature to have on any sort of supply vehicle. Most of the bodywork's made of aluminium, again, much lighter than steel. Nowadays, lots of armoured vehicles have what they call laminate armour, so it's not just metal, it's things like rubber, ceramic, various things sandwiched together. So that's a load carrying vehicle, so where's the tank you're getting worried about? At last we'll come on with the tank. Now, a lot of you, if you watch your history channel or your documentary channel,